Are you feeling the pressure? The pressure to become this always-on, content-creating, brand-building machine just to make a little extra cash? Well, what if there's a better way? Today, we're going to talk about side hustles that don't run on motivation, but on simple systems designed for a real busy life. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first, let's just tear down the biggest myth out there. Earning extra income does not mean you have to become a content machine, constantly churning out posts day after day. And you can forget about spending all those hours building a personal brand. Seriously, you don't need to craft some perfect online personality or get stuck on that hamster wheel, just chasing followers.
And here's the most radical idea of all. You don't actually need to wake up every single morning feeling fired up and motivated. The whole approach we're about to cover, it's designed to work especially on the days you're feeling totally drained.
So why does so much of the side hustle advice out there just fail for the average person? Well, it's because it's all built on a lie. I call it the motivation myth. And the numbers really tell the story here. According to the American Psychological Association, a whopping 77% of U.S. workers feel stressed out by their jobs. Think about that. Nearly 3 out of 5 of us are just mentally exhausted by the time we clock out. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. Most side hustles don't fail because of a lack of willpower. They fail because they demand creative and emotional energy, and that's a tank that's already running on empty for most of us after our day jobs. You see, that's not a motivation problem. That's a system problem.
So what's the alternative? Well, it requires a complete shift in how we think. We're going to ditch those passion-fueled, vibe-based hustles for something way more stable: systems. Welcome to the boring is profitable approach.
I mean, when you put them side by side, the difference is just stark. The typical hustle culture path, it's all about social media and passion, and it's a direct road to burnout. But the systems-based path is totally different. It's built on a real local need, and it values simple reliability, which leads to predictable, much lower stress income.
So this brings us to a whole new definition. A sustainable side hustle is, number 1, low visibility. You don't need an audience. 2, it's repeatable. You just follow a simple process. And 3, most importantly, it taps into demand that's already there. You're not trying to manufacture attention, you're just solving a problem that already exists.
Okay, so that's the theory. But let's get practical. Here are 4 categories of these quiet income streams that put this whole system into action. First up, local service hustles. These are all about solving those immediate, real-world problems for busy people right in your own community. I mean, what do your neighbors always complain they just don't have time for?
Think about it. People don't hire someone to clean their gross trash bins or detail their car because they saw a viral video. No way! They pay for convenience and reliability. You just have to show up and do a good job. Simple as that.
Number 2 is what I call administrative hustles. Every single small business runs on paperwork and organization. And guess what? Most business owners hate doing it. And that's exactly where you can come in.
Now, none of this is glamorous, I'll give you that, but it is absolutely essential. For these kinds of tasks, dependability is a premium skill. Businesses will gladly pay for someone who is simply accurate and on time. No passion for data entry required, I promise.
All right, our third category is a real game changer because, after a little initial setup, it pretty much removes you from the equation. These are asset-based hustles, where something you already own does the heavy lifting for you. Whether it's that spare room you never use, a power washer you could rent out on the weekends, or even a well-placed vending machine, these assets generate income with very little ongoing effort. And in this case, motivation becomes almost completely irrelevant. The asset works whether you feel like it or not. And finally, let's be clear. Working online does not have to mean being an influencer. There's this huge world of what we can just call boring digital work. These are gigs where companies are paying for your focused attention, not your personality. They need someone to test a website or transcribe audio accurately. You log in, you do the task, you get paid, and you log out. No followers, no branding, no stress. So, all of these examples really point to a much bigger idea. This whole system-based approach is just more effective because it's not about chasing some get-rich-quick dream. It's about building real resilience. Think about it. A sudden $3,000 windfall from a viral video is super exciting, sure, but it's completely unreliable. On the other hand, a steady, predictable $600 a month from a boring side hustle, that provides true stability. Real resilience doesn't come from a flash of motivation, it comes from predictability. And this might be the most important mindset shift of all. We have to stop tying our self-worth to our side hustle. It is not your passion project. It is not your new identity. It's simply a tool. Your job pays the bills. Your life gives you meaning. And your side hustle? Well, that just gives you options. That's it.
So, let's put all of this together into a practical framework. Here are the new rules for choosing a side hustle that actually respects your time and, more importantly, your energy.
Before you start any new side hustle, just run it through this 4-part filter. Number 1, can this work when I'm tired? 2, can this work without me having to post online? 3, can this realistically work with just 5 to 10 hours a week? And 4, can this work if nobody even knows my name? If you can answer yes to all 4 of those, you've probably found a winner. So, forget about finding your passion or building a brand. Instead, just look around your community, look at your daily life, and ask yourself this one simple question. What boring, annoying problem could I get paid to solve for someone else? The answer is probably a lot closer and a lot more profitable than you think.